In this second video on long division, I want to show you a potentially shortcut approach to long division. It won't work in all cases, but it will work if both numbers are divisible by a common factor. It works very similarly to simplifying fractions. Let me show what I mean. Here's a question we're asked to do. Divide 420 by 30. Now if I think of this as a fraction, i.e. 420 over 30, I might think about simplifying, and we call our rules about simplifying where we look to find a common factor. So for example, the three commonest rules are where both end in a 0, in which case I would divide by 10, or where both were even, in which case I'd halve, divide by 2, or where both were divisible by 5 because it ends in a 5 or 0. And in this case we can see that in actual fact both end in a 0, so I can just cancel the zeros. In other words, 30 into 420 is exactly the same question as 3 into 42. And what I've managed to do here is to simplify the question. I have turned a long division, a division where the value on the outside is 2 digits or more, into a short division, a division where the value on the outside is a single digit. So now we can go ahead and work this out. 3 into 4 is 1, remainder 1, and then 3 into 12 is 4. So our answer in both cases is 14. 30 into 420 is 14. And you can check this on a calculator if you want to convince yourself that that is indeed the case. I want to leave that reminder of our simplifying rules up and do another question. This question is where we're asked to divide 25 into 1150. Now again, if I think of both values as if they were fractional numbers, numerator and denominator, I can see that 5 goes into both. So I can rewrite this fraction by dividing both the 25 and then the 1150 by 5. Now 5 into 25 is easy, it is just 5. But 5 into 1150, I'm not so sure, so what I will do is I will work that out down here. 5 into 1150, well 5 into 1 doesn't go. 5 into 11 is 2, remainder 1. 5 into 15 is 3, and 5 into 0 is 0. So the simplified fraction now reads 5 into 230, and we can now go ahead and do that question. 5 into 2 doesn't go. 5 into 23 is 4, remainder 3, and 5 into 30 is 6. So that in fact is the answer to both versions of the question. 1150 divided by 25 or 230 divided by 5. They are the same question in that the fractional version of it would be equivalent. Okay, so the idea there is to find a common factor. Let's do one more. Let's do 24 into 1560. Now in this case both values are even, so I'm going to half them. Well, half of 24 I can do in my head, that is just 12. But again I'm in a position where I'm not so comfortable about halving the 1560, so I'm going to work that out and insert the answer into my simplified version. 2 into 1560, 2 into 1 doesn't go, 2 into 15 is 7 with 1 left over, 2 into 16 is 8, and 2 into 0 is 0. So 24 into 1560 becomes 12 into 780. Now on this occasion we haven't quite turned the long division into a short division, but here we see that we could go a little further. The 12 and the 780 are still both even numbers, so I can simplify it one more time by halving again. Well, half of 12 is 6, and when you go ahead and half 780 you get 390. As luck would have it, we can halve again. Half of 6 is 3, and half of 390 turns out to be 195. And now we can finally work out the answer to that. 3 into 1 doesn't go, 3 into 19 goes 6, which takes us to 18 with 1 remainder, and 3 into 15 is 5. So the answer to our original question, 24 into 1560, gives us the answer 65. In each of the three cases I have shown you, there was the possibility of simplifying the question itself. That is not always the case, and in the first video I showed you examples where I had deliberately set you questions that could not be simplified, but here we've seen ones that can be simplified, sometimes just by the one step, or here in this final example by more than one step. I had lots of steps divided by 2 on more than one occasion. But you're treating the skills you develop for your simplifying fractions directly into long division, and this is because division and fractions are essentially two sides of the same coin. They are both equivalent topics in mathematics. Okay, finally what I would like you to think about doing is to do some questions yourself. See if you can do them by the simplifying method, which will allow you to simplify the question before going ahead and doing it. This method, after all, allows us to avoid the long-winded approach to doing long division that I showed you in video 1. So pause the video and then I will show you the answers. Okay, so there are your answers. See how you got on. If there are any mistakes, it's more than likely you made a small arithmetic error when you were simplifying your fractions. I hope this was of some help, and if you go to the long division exercise that we have on the Moodle numeracy website, you will see that there is a collection of questions, some which can simplify by this method and some which can't. So it is worthwhile ensuring that you can perform long division using both methods. What I'm looking for here is to increase your level of efficiency. Well, thanks very much for watching.